And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net, should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our Qso-Vlog network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the best sounding station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the Qso-Vlog network with the phrase, "If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout." And today we're currently featuring over 3,300 Qso-Vlog Aircheck recordings. And you can access these recordings by going to YouTube and doing a call letter search for KC9VKV followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor followed by the word logbook. And we also have a newer series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. These are some of our less technical and more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. That's KC9VKV followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. Both KC9VKV Logbook and KC9VKV Highlights are segments of our main YouTube homepage of Jim's Radio Story, where we celebrate a 50-year career in commercial broadcasting. A 50-year journey from a 5-watt pirate radio station as a 12-year-old to production director of a major 50,000-watt AM broadcast facility. And the thing that makes this truly a unique story is that I have all the actual masters from all along the way. Over 2,600 shows, including many full-length major music concerts and radio documentaries. You'll have to check it out and subscribe. Jim's Radio Story on a YouTube search. Our mission statement for the Qso-Vlog network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics in current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher level of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receive side, we're running 5 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring New York, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Georgia specifically, and in addition we're running our newer Number 5 Hocus Pocus Internet SDR receiver, loaded with 50 additional pre-programmed Internet SDR locations spread out over 20 states across the eastern half of the United States, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now, the audio from these 5 SDR receivers comes up on a 6th position rotary selector. Also on this selector is our local receiver audio. And today, our local receiver is running 3 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed at 0 degrees, one aimed at 90 degrees, and the number 3 is aimed at 134 degrees. These are run as a directional scanner array with a manual voting system 6-position rotary selector. Also today on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR specially oriented resonant tuned dipole antenna. One leg of this resonant tuned dipole antenna runs broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg runs broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today we'll be running our input source indicator, so when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube Qso-Vlog video. And as we come together for another Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net, let us pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you'll protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you'll reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, since this part of the band has many nets trying to operate in a very confined area, I would appreciate all stations checking into our Qso-Vlog net to keep their bandpass to no wider than 100 to 2900. And again, please, no wider than 100 to 2900. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now, with all that being said, let's open it up and see who's out there. If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout.
Kilo, uniform, forward. Foxtrot, Lima. Kilo, uniform, forward. Foxtrot, Lima. Over.
Roger that, Foxtrot Lima. What's the name there?
Name is Tracy. Tango, Radio, Alpha, Charlie, Yankee. Over.
One more time on that, please.
Tango, Romeo, Alpha, Charlie, Yankee.
Tracy, is that a Roger?
That is correct.
Okay, Tracy, why don't you give me about 10 seconds to tell me about your antenna system, and let me see if I can find a better path for us, Roger?
Well, that's an interesting concept because I just now put the antenna up and just testing it. And it's a random wire fed by a 9-to-1 unit at about 6 watt. And the height is about 8 feet above ground. And so it's 53 feet long with a 13-foot counterpart. Over.
Roger that. Well, I was on my local antenna, and I did not have too good a copy, so I moved off and picked up my Georgia SDR, and I have a much better copy on you now. You look to be about 10 to 12 clicks over my noise level, so that's always a good sign. Tracy, what radio are you running today, sir?
Tracy, what radio are you running today, sir?
I'm running Yaesu FT891. FT891, over.
Roger that. Is that a newer radio?
Roger that. Is that a newer radio?
Yes, it's been around for about 10 years, I guess, but I just bought this one, and I just renewed my license and figured it was time to buy a new HF rig. Over.
Roger that. So, are you familiar with the transmit bandwidth, the TBW? We recommend a setting of 100 to 2900. Now, that radio, being 10 years old, may not have the capability of hitting 100 to 2900, and it may be a fixed transmit bandwidth also. I'm not real sure about that, Roger.
Bandwidth also. I'm not real sure about that, Roger.
Roger. Well, it's a brand new radio, so I'm not 100% familiar with it yet, but no, I'm not really aware of the concept you're talking about. Over.
Alrighty, once you make a note and check it out on your owner's manual, TBW, transmit bandwidth, we suggest 100 to 2900 if you can do that. If not, the highest transmit bandwidth possible, so your radio will achieve its maximum capabilities. And with that 2900, if you can reach that one, it gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. So if you can get it in that 100 to 2900 wide transmit bandwidth mode, that would be the best one. But just make a note of that and then consult your book, Roger.
Yeah, just make a note of that and then consult your book, Roger.
Roger. Duly noted, and I'll check that out. Over.
Yes, sir. Now, if you're interested in our setup procedure, it moves from there to your compressor processor on at 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Depending on how it's labeled, we want just a third of that compressor processor on at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger?
3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger?
Roger.
And then at your ALC, as you say the word audio, don't stress it, just say it like you would say any other word in the QSO. And with your mic gain, adjust to where your ALC meter is running 2/3. That's ALC meter running 2/3. As you say the word audio, you become a human test generator. And with mic gain control, you'll set your ALC level to 2/3, Roger, or 7, whichever comes first.
2/3, Roger, or 7, whichever comes first.
Okay, working on it.
Yes, sir. Doing it or writing it?
Yes, sir. Doing it or writing it?
Okay, got that. ALC 2/3.
Yes, sir. And the word audio, the first part of that is such a beautiful tone. If you look at that word, it's just multifaceted across a spectrum analyzer. Just a beautiful word to use to set up your ALC level. Roger?
To use to set up your ALC level. Roger?
Roger.
Okay, so then why don't you give me now maybe just a little bit about your radio so I can hear your audio again and see what we need to do EQ-wise, Roger?
Again and see what we need to do EQ-wise, Roger?
Okay. Like I said, it's ST891 Yaesu, and I'm running about 50 watts, and it's going into... I've got a 1-to-1 chain melon here in the station, and then I've got outside. I've got about 50 feet of RG213 going into a and from that into a 13-foot counterpoise and a 53-foot wire up about 8 feet. And so that is what's normally called random wire, but it's not truly random. It avoids resonant frequencies. And I'm able to, I haven't checked the work band, but I just checked 160 meters through 6 meters, and all of the non-work bands are, the highest is about a little bit over 2 to 1 SWR, and the lowest is right down around the low 1 SWR, so I'm not even running a computer. Over.
Roger, Tracy. Do you know how to get to your equalizer controls, your tone controls, Roger?
Your tone controls, Roger?
Well, I do, but not while I'm talking on it. I'll need to look at it more closely, and take a little bit of time to work on that. So I'm making notes, on what the settings should be. Over.
That's well, you need just a little more brightness on your audio to increase the intelligibility level that you would need in a pile-up or a lot of QRM or whatever. You need all of the intelligibility that you can use, and that usually is associated with the treble boost control in your equalization. So I would say you need to come up to a +4 on your treble equalizer in your radio there. So you want your mid-range to be flat. You can take notes about this. Mid-range tone control should be flat. Your treble EQ control should be +4, and if you can adjust your treble control frequency, we would want that at 2.7 kilohertz, and if you can adjust the width, we want that at a 4. So coming back the other way, you want if you can adjust your width, we want a 4. If you can adjust your frequency, we want 2.7 kilohertz, and we want to push that at 4 dB hotter than what it is, or where it is at the moment. Roger?
dB hotter than what it is, where it is at the moment. Roger?
Roger. By the way, on the stock hand mic, there is a 1 and 2 tone control, and I know that's not as in-depth as what you're telling me, but I just switched it to the 2. So if you would, tell me what difference that made. Over.
Well, why don't you do this? Why don't you give me a 10 count, and right in the middle of that, 5 going to 6, make your switch so I can hear the difference. And just try to make that as quick as you can so I can hear like an A-B comparison difference. Roger?
I can hear like an A-B comparison difference. Roger?
Roger. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Over.
But the one that you're in right now is louder than the one before that. So you could stay in that one. It still needs some top-end EQ boost, though. Roger?
Top-end EQ boost, though. Roger?
Roger.
But I would say stay in that one until you get a chance to consult your book and get that EQ going, and then adjust your ALC level, and get the compressor processor in there to 3 out of 100, 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger.
3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. Roger.
Roger. Now, do I need to cut back on the bass? Over.
That sounds pretty good. I would like for you to push the top end. The bass sounds good to me. If you just added some more brightness to it on the top end EQ, I think that would help a bunch.
Top end EQ, I think that would help a bunch.
Okay, roger that. Thanks for the tip.
Okay, Tracy, and if you want to hear your audio now, if you go to YouTube and do the call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,300, and I'll have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Have it uploaded to YouTube by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Roger, roger. So that's Kilo Charlie Niner, Papa Kilo Victor. Is that correct? Oh.
No, let me give it to you again. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. And I repeat, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and then follow that with the word logbook. So it's KC9VKV followed by the word logbook. Roger?
VKV followed by the word logbook. Roger?
Roger, roger. Copy that. And by the way, you're a 5 and 9er. Over.
Roger. And Tracy, where are you, sir?
Roger. And Tracy, where are you, sir?
I'm in North Alabama, close to Huntsville. Over.
Roger that. Well, let me say 73 to you, sir. And maybe we can get together next Friday and go through, you'll have had a chance to read the book and make your adjustments, and we'll see how close you are. Roger?
Your adjustments, and we'll see how close you are. Roger?
Roger, roger. So 73, and hopefully we'll catch you next Friday. Kilo Charlie Niner, VKV from Kilo Uniform 4, Foxtrot Lima.
Roger, roger, Tracy, 73, sir. Have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
November 4, Whiskey Hotel, Papa. November 8.
Station November 4, Whiskey, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
November 4, Whiskey, come back slowly phonetically with your call sign.
Roger, roger. November 4, Whiskey Hotel, Papa. November 4, Whiskey Hotel, Papa.
Roger, roger. What's the name there?
Roger, roger. What's the name there?
Name here is Will, Whiskey India Lima Lima. I believe we spoke a couple of weeks ago, over.
Yes, sir, Will. What radio are you running today, sir?
Yes, sir, Will. What radio are you running today, sir?
I'm running the IC746 Pro, over.
Roger, and what's your location, sir?
Roger, and what's your location, sir?
I reside in Buckingham, Virginia. And I'm currently running a 136-foot long antenna. So, good to know I'm getting over there, over.
Okay, let's see, is that 746 Pro, is that a more modern radio or what?
46 Pro, is that a more modern radio or what?
It's an older radio. I think it was released in the early 2000s. I couldn't exactly tell you, but it doesn't have a lot of the modern stuff that a lot of the other, HF radios have. It still has a lot of basic things in it, over.
Okay, so we'll just let that transmit bandwidth slide. You might delve into that if your book talks about that at all, the transmit bandwidth. We want that, if it's adjustable, we want that in the highest resolution possible, so that transmitter will perform at its maximum capabilities up to 100 to 2900. That is called wide, and that's the one we normally prefer to have folks switch to if they can, and then that gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. But that being an older radio, it's maybe probably a fixed transmit bandwidth, and so we just have to work with what we got. But your book would tell you, Roger.
What we got, but your book would tell you, Roger.
Roger that, yes. Yeah, the TBW, Tango Bravo Whiskey setting. Yeah, I've got that on the radio. I have it set to wide. My compression is also set to 3 out of 10, I believe. And my mic gain is set 50%, over.
Roger that. Well, let's move on to the ALC. And with mic gain in hand, and as you say the word audio, don't stress it, just say it like you would say any other word in a Qso, and adjust your mic level until your ALC meter is running at 2/3 or 7, whichever comes first.
Running at 2/3 or 7, whichever comes first.
Copy that, yes. I'm not sure how to change the ALC on this, because it doesn't matter which setting I change, the ALC just maxes out, over.
Your mic gain controls your ALC level, so turn your mic gain down about 10 clicks, and let me listen to you.
About 10 clicks, and let me listen to you.
Roger that. How much matters now?
Okay, so bring it up to 50%. Bring that mic level up to 50%, Roger.
To 50%. Bring that mic level up to 50%, Roger.
Here you go. This is 50%, over.
All right. No, say go to 45%.
Go to 45%.
It should be 45. I'm not sure. It just has a little dial. It doesn't click or anything, over.
Roger that. And that is a hand mic, Roger.
Roger that. And that is a hand mic, Roger.
Yes, it is a hand mic.
Okay, did we discuss last time that you would use that hand mic by pulling it to the corner of your lips and talking across it, Roger?
To the corner of your lips and talking across it, Roger?
Yeah, I do that most of the time now anyway. I've been trying to not, keep it directly, but just talk across like a bow thing. That's what a lot of people say to do with the bow thing, so I've just kind of learned to carry that along with the, with the hand mics on the regular radios, over.
No, that's the best way, because you don't disturb the if it's an electret condenser mic, they're very sensitive. So by actually touching the corner of your lips, you're not building up a bunch of pressure pops and mouth noises for that mic to work around. It's just very much clearer by just touching the corner of your lips as you with that microphone as you talk. Roger.
The corner of your lips as you with that microphone as you talk, Roger.
Copy that. Yeah. You don't want to talk directly into it, because that's a lot of extra popping and whatnot. Yeah, I believe about 2 weeks ago I was talking to you on a 857, Yaesu FT 857. Figure out some settings with that. Figure out the TBW with that one. I cannot find the TBW setting on that radio at all. And that is a more modern radio. It's not like anything from the 70s or 80s or early 90s. It's right around the same year as this radio that I'm using right now to talk to you, but this was just the one that was set up, and it's too wet outside to talk outside. Portable, over.
Hey, Roger that. And then can you get to your equalization, your equalizer?
Your equalizer?
The equalizer on this radio, over.
Roger, equalizer, tone control board, whatever.
Roger, Roger, equalizer, tone control board, whatever.
I'm not sure. I might be able to. I'm not exactly sure on that.
Roger. Well, let me just give you some note there about that. We need a little more top end, a little more treble. So I would say a +4 push on your treble equalizer, +4 on your treble equalizer. If you can adjust the width, we want a 4. Want a 4 on the width. If you can adjust the frequency, we want 2.7 kilohertz. So there you go. That's the parameter of the treble equalizer. +4 clicks boost from where you are. If you can adjust the width of 4. And what was the other one? Anyway, so moving down to your mid-range control, we want that flat or off. The mid-range control should be number 2 and should be flat or off. Roger?
Number 2, it should be flat or off. Roger?
I think I copy that. This equalizer thing is kind of new to me. What are some common names for that particular setting? Over.
Well, now it depends on what kind of equalizer you have. If you have a more involved equalizer, just jot this down. We want everything flat from 400 cycles up to 1.5 kilohertz. Want everything. If you have, a more involved equalizer, we want all those equalizers flat within that range, and then your treble EQ. If you can change it to 2.7 kilohertz, do so. A width of 4 and +4 clicks from where you are. Boost, Roger.
And +4 clicks from where you are. Boost, Roger.
Copy that. Yeah, I just went flying off frequency trying to change something. There's something here that says SCP, but I think that's just for scanning the band. And then I see this little thing here. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can change some stuff here.
Well, probably need to check with your book there. And since you have your compressor processor on, you'll probably be in the P set of controls. If it has a P set of controls, those are the EQ controls that you want to use. Roger?
Those are the EQ controls that you want to use. Roger?
Okay, I think I have it set to 2.7 kilohertz now. How am I sounding? Over.
It's coming along. Can you go higher than that on that number 3 EQ?
Go higher than that on that number 3 EQ?
Not frequency-wise, but push-wise.
Hang on, let me see.
Yeah, not frequency-wise, but push-wise. Can you go to 10 or something?
Push-wise. Can you go to 10 or something?
I don't think so, no.
What's the highest you can go on your treble EQ control?
What's the highest you can go on your treble EQ control?
Yeah, the compression is set to 3 right now.
Yes, Roger. So what's the on that treble EQ on your EQ page? What's the highest you can go on that EQ number 3 treble control?
On that EQ number 3 treble control.
The highest I can do is 5.
Okay, go ahead and put it on 5. Go ahead and put it on 5, Roger. And then I want you to tell me about the best thing you like about your radio, Roger.
Tell me about the best thing you like about your radio, Roger.
Yes, right now I have it on 5. My TX, I believe it'll also go, and is set to +5. I believe it'll also go down to -5 or -5, over.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. Now, your mid-range EQ control is flat or off. Is that a roger?
EQ control is flat or off. Is that a roger?
Could you repeat that again?
Your mid-range EQ control is flat or off.
EQ control is flat or off.
I don't think I can control that. The audio settings is kind of new to me, so I'm kind of. Hang on, let's see. It looks like I can. It looks like the only thing I can control is the TX bass and then the treble. Over.
Oh, okay. So that's only a two-band equalizer. Is that a roger?
Okay, so that's only a two-band equalizer. Is that a roger?
I would assume so. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, so where is your bass control at the moment? Your equalizer 1, your bass control. What is that set on?
Equalizer 1, your bass control. What is that set on?
+3, over.
What's the frequency?
It can go up to 5.
What's the frequency?
Okay, so like 2.7 on our treble, that bass EQ has a frequency control, and we'd probably want to set that on 200, Roger?
The frequency control, and we'd probably want to set that on 200, Roger?
Step what down to 200?
Your bass frequency control, your bass frequency control down to 200.
Control, your bass frequency control down to 200.
I'm not exactly sure on how to do that at the moment. I have to, I guess, read my manual. Over.
Okay, so just where you have the treble equalizer that you were just working on, just below that you may have your bass frequency control, Roger?
That you may have your bass frequency control, Roger?
I don't see that setting on here right now. Over.
Okay, how about equalizer 1? Do you show equalizer 1?
Okay, how about equalizer 1? Do you show equalizer 1?
The only thing with like number 1 is the filter, and it's set to filter 1. Over.
Okay, I missed part of that. So you do have equalizer 1, Roger?
So you do have equalizer 1, Roger?
You were saying something, but I think I might have lost you. Over.
I'm right here, bud. Just see if you have 2 equalizers. The one was that treble one we just worked on, and the bass should be equalizer 1, the bass adjustment. Roger?
Equalizer 1, the bass adjustment. Roger?
Okay, yes, the TX bass right now is set to 1 out of 5. Over.
Okay, bring that up to about a 3.
Okay, bring that up to about a 3.
All right, my bass is now set to +3 on single sideband. Over.
Roger, can you adjust the width of that, like you adjusted the width of your treble? Can you adjust the width of your bass?
Can you adjust the width of your treble? Can you adjust the width of your bass?
No, I cannot. There is no setting there for that. Over.
Okay, sounds pretty good to me. Go ahead and tell me about your antenna system again.
Sounds pretty good to me. Go ahead and tell me about your antenna system again.
All right, so the antenna I'm running is a 136-foot long wire antenna. running on 9-to-1 balance. So it's just a random wire. There's nothing special about it. Probably at its highest point, it's about 20 feet at its highest. Well, actually, its lowest, it's about 20. And its two highest points, I would say, are at about 25 feet on both of the highest points. Over.
Roger, Roger. I would run it just like that. I would run it just like that. Make sure you know where you were in proximity to your microphone, right up onto the corner of your lips, and that just sounded really good, Roger.
The corner of your lips, and that just sounded really good, Roger.
Copy that. Yeah. So keep my microphone in the same proximity as my as I normally use it, and keep my settings the same and don't touch them. Now I got a question. Will the settings change on upper sideband USB? Over.
No, they should not. Provided that you keep your compressor processor on. I think those were P control adjustments. So just keep your compressor processor on at a 3, Roger, and the EQ should stay the same.
Okay, so they should stay the same. Is that correct? There's some, I don't know if you're getting it, but there is some bleed over from another frequency. So it's kind of making it a little hard to copy you because you're right at the level of the noise. Over.
Oh, Roger, yeah. Somebody just plopped down there about a kilohertz off of my frequency. I've been on here for about 45 minutes, and they just plopped in about, I don't know, 1 kc off my signal. So pretty, not very wise, but what can you say?
Very wise, but what can you say?
Yeah, this person keeps on talking. They're off a frequency. It's just that for some reason they're bleeding over, and it's making it hard for me to copy you. And like I said, you're already pretty deep in the noise for me right now. Over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I've got, 5 SDRs that are already pre-programmed, so I can't very well move the frequency because it's just, like I say, 5 of my SDRs are already tuned to this frequency, and it'd be a big hassle to try to move. I just, normally folks listen a little bit and see if there's, what the band situation is where they are, see if anybody's on their frequency, also see if anybody is in an adjacent frequency that might be disturbed by their signal. That's just amateur, good standing there is to double check what you're doing before you do it, Roger.
Double check what you're doing before you do it, Roger.
Yeah, copy that. Yeah. And in fact, in the general test that I took about 3 weeks ago, in the book it said you always want to make sure, if you're an upper sideband, you have at least 3 kilohertz between you and another person, so that you're not bleeding over into their conversation. And it has to be at least, you can't be 2 kilohertz over from them or 1 kilohertz over from them. And this would be like, if they're on 28.480, you would want to be on 28.476, I believe. And that would ensure that you're not bleeding over into their conversation. Over.
Absolutely, Will. Absolutely. Well, I think you got it, bud. Sounded mighty good. And if you can, why don't you check in next Friday, and we'll see what's going on, Roger?
Check in next Friday, and we'll see what's going on, Roger.
Roger that. Roger that. I have to check my schedule next Friday. I might be working, but we'll see. If I'm not, I will plug in the 840 to 857. And I'll try to explore the settings on that, and if not, I'm going to try to copy the settings from this radio over to that. Obviously, there's no way you can do it, but I'll see if I can find corresponding settings. And I'll check in with 857. situated for the right audio, over.
Hey, roger that, Will. Okay, and remember that if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, will take you to this recording. I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Logbook will take you to this recording. I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Yeah, copy that. Yeah, I intend on doing that. I watched the last video you put up a couple weeks ago with my audio, and that's pretty cool getting to hear yourself. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. I'm sure there's other people that are wanting to get in and get to you and make sure their rig is set right. So I'm going to let you go. I hope you have a good rest of your day. And 73. And yeah, just hope you have a good rest of your day. Over.
Roger, Roger, Will, 73, sir. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
November 8, Kilo, Romeo. Kilo.
Oh, let's see, there's a Romeo in there. Somebody with a Romeo, come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically.
Roger, Roger. The call sign is November 8, Kilo, Romeo, over.
Roger, Kilo, Romeo, what's the name?
Name is Dan, Delta Alpha November, located in Cleves, Ohio. Roger.
Roger, Dan, and what radio are you running today, sir?
Currently I'm on an old IC756 Pro ICOM.
Roger that. Yeah, I think we just were working on a 756 Pro.
Last gentleman, I think he had a 746 Pro.
Yes, it was. I knew it sounded familiar, but it was a 746, and you have the 756, Roger?
Roger. Just wanted to get your opinion on the audio. I'm running this radio with a Radio Shack dynamic mic with a cable I made up with the XLR on it and a blocking cap to block the 8-volt electric supply. And currently I'm on wide transmit bandwidth. Got a little bit of compression. Bass is about -2, treble is about +5, over.
Okay, so you do have a transmit bandwidth, and you have it adjusted to 100 to 2900. Is that a Roger?
That is correct.
Great. That's called wide, and it gives you just a slice of daylight before you enter somebody else's conversation. So then into your compressor processor, we're looking for a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, just a third of that compressor processor possibility. Roger?
Roger. That's exactly where I have it set right now, over.
Roger. And then go to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And by the way, what kind of mic is that?
This is a regular audio type mic. It's a Radio Shack XLR type mic. And I have I think a 0.1
Okay, the frequency is in use. Okay, so we're, let's see here. We're going to set our modulation control. So with your mic gain in hand, as you say the word audio, don't stress it, just say it, and adjust the mic level control until your ALC meter is running 7 or 2/3. Roger?
Roger. Audio. Yeah, it's about right there.
Yeah, that seems to be just a little bit cleaner. Now, if you're familiar with your tone control, your EQ settings?
Roger. I have them up now.
Okay, so tell me about the best thing you like about your radio right now.
Well, this thing is a fabulous receiver. Have very good filtering, which is fully adjustable, 51 different filters. And being a triple conversion receiver, it's very, very sensitive and selective. And the DSP's not bad either there, over.
Okay, so I would go, you're really close where you are, but I would go one more click treble boost from where you are. Roger?
Yeah, I'm maxed out right now on the treble.
Okay, I would go your mid-range. You have a mid-range. We want that flat or off?
I don't have mid-range at all. I have bass and treble. And the bass is about minus 2 dB.
Okay, so make that 3 dB, minus 3 dB from where you are.
Okay, that's 3 dB.
Okay, and do you have a width control?
Negative.
Okay, so give me a little audio there so I can hear you. Maybe talk about your antenna system again.
Okay, I'm running a half-extended double ZEP, about 40 feet up on one end and about 30 on the other. I have that fed with open wire line. I have that fed with open wire line into a MS and very, very little SWR right now, but then I only believe in open wire line for HF. Over.
Roger. Okay, come up one more click. Boost on your bass frequency. Just a little more bass. One click boost from where you are, Roger, on your bass.
Roger, that's minus 2 decibels right there. Over.
Okay, and come up one more.
Okay, that's minus 1 decibel. Over.
Yeah, I think that's sounding better. Now go back to your ALC and reset your audio level. Mic gain in hand, as you say the word audio. Adjust your mic gain until your ALC is running 7 or 2/3.
Roger, audio. Right about there.
Okay, check your frequency. You might have hit your VFO. You might have hit your VFO right there, Roger.
No, that was interference.
Oh, God. Well, you can tell what kind of day I got, but the interference is as loud as you are, and you're like about a 20 or 15 over.
Yeah, I don't know what that guy's doing, but he's close.
Yeah, Roger. Well, if you want to hear your audio, go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, and that'll take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,300, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Roger. I appreciate the assistance, and yeah, I've done several radios with you. Maybe later I'll get with you on my 897 Yaesu and also my 7300, which I have the SM30 desk mic on. So we'll get back to you later on, maybe next week or something like that there, Jim.
Yes, sir, that 7300 is just will be a piece of cake. So 73 there, Dan, and we'll catch you later. You have a great afternoon, a beautiful weekend. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday. We'd love to have you. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
73, Jim.
Roger.
Kilo Delta 9, Victor Kilo.
Frequencies in use on the chirper, Victor Kilo. Come back with your call sign again phonetically, slowly.
Kilo Delta 9, Victor Kilo.
Roger, would you listen to that? Oh, God, words don't express the stupidity, but anyway, this frequency is in use if you didn't know it. You didn't listen, frequency is in use. Okay, Victor Kilo, what's the name there?
My name's Walter, Whiskey Alpha Lima Tango Echo Romeo. I'm up here in Middletown, Indiana. I'm about 190 miles north of you.
All right, sounds pretty good there. Let's see, what radio are you running?
I have a Yaesu FT710.
Okay, and what did you say your location was?
Middletown, Indiana, 190 miles north of you.
Okay, tell me about your antenna system there for about 10 or 15 seconds, and let me look around and see if I can find a better path for us, Roger.
Oh, okay. My antenna's nothing.
A better path for us, Roger.
Oh, okay. My antenna's nothing. Dipole, it runs 10, 15, 20, 40, and 80 meter. Up about 25 feet in the air, stretched from one tree to a post I've got drove out in the yard.
Alrighty, I was trying to know that guy on our sideband there. I couldn't quite do that, but anyway, it sounds pretty good. Let's check just a couple of things there. Are you familiar with the TBC, transmit bandwidth?
Are you familiar with the TBC, transmit bandwidth?
Yes, I've been listening to you, and I've went through and checked mine. It is set on 100, 2900 right now.
100 to 2900, Roger. It's called wide, and that lets your transmitter function at its maximum capabilities, but then gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation. And then once past that, we do about a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100 on your compressor processor. 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, Roger?
3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, Roger?
Looking on that one right now. Processor level set at 50.
Okay, so pull that down to 30.
I have the processor set at 30.
All right, great. And now let's go to your ALC meter with the mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, don't stress it, just say it like you would say any other word. And adjust your mic level control until you're 2/3 on your ALC meter. 7 or 2/3, whichever comes first on your ALC meter.
7 or 2/3, whichever comes first on your ALC meter.
Audio.
Alrighty, now then, tell me about the best thing you like about your radio.
Tell me about the best thing you like about your radio.
Well, little radio, it seems pretty simple to operate, nothing too hard. On it to have to worry about.
Okay, I need just a little bit more. I was on my Kentucky SDR antenna. I moved over to my local antenna, which before didn't have quite as good a signal, but now I think it does. So talk to me some more and let me hear you on my local antenna, Roger.
All right. Well, I'm up here in Middletown, Indiana, approximately 190 miles north of you, about 35 miles northeast of Indianapolis, over here in a little town with a population of about 3,000.
Okay, Walt, are you familiar with your equalizer page, your tone control equalizer page?
Let me get down to it. I'm there now.
Okay, what kind of an equalizer is that, sir?
It's in my radio settings, and it just says AF treble gain, AF mid-tone gain, AF bass gain. In the book, it shows that there's 3 different equalizers in it, and I'm not for sure which one's which and how to get to each of them.
Okay, so you should be in the P control settings. In the P control settings, since your processor is on, Roger?
QSL, I'll look for that one.
Okay, you should have that. That's the thing, you know, as long as you have your processor on, you should have a set of 3 controls that are set for the P settings, Roger?
Would that be on the, it says mic equalizer, it just says on.
Yeah, put your mic equalizer on, and then let's review those 3 equalizers. We want that mid-range, number 2, that mid-range equalizer. We want that off or flat, plus or minus 0 or off. Roger?
QSL, it's on 0.
Okay, so then we want to go to our treble control. And do you have the ability to adjust the frequency of your treble EQ control?
I can go up and down with it. Right now it's set on 4.
That's the level, I believe. Yeah, we were talking about the frequency. Can you adjust the frequency of your treble EQ control? It should be somewhere around 25 now, 2.5 kilohertz. We want to move that up to 2.7 if we can.
I'm looking. I'm not ignoring you. I'm trying to find it in all these settings.
Okay, so there should be a group of settings, 1, 2, 3, that are for the P settings that you need since your compressor processor's on.
I'm going to have to get in the book and find that because I'm in the radio settings and I cannot find it.
Okay, can you find bass and treble boost?
I found where it said treble, mid, and bass, but it didn't say anything about boost.
Well, I mean, that would be on your settings on those. You would go to those, and then that would give you the opportunity to cut or boost those frequencies. Roger, you go to that setting, and that treble setting, and then you can raise it or lower the frequency of it. Roger.
Oh, QSL. Okay.
Okay, so we're looking for that treble control to be up or to make it up to around 2.7 kilohertz. From what it is now below that, we want to raise it up to 2.7 kilohertz. Roger?
Yeah, okay, I'm trying to get down to it. I've got low cut frequency, slow delay, mid delay, fast delay. There's a high cut frequency.
Roger. So, let's see, do you have anything around 2 does it say anything around like 2.5, 2.6 around there?
The high cut frequencies at 3,000 hertz. Wrong menu.
Well, I'll tell you, we'll just do this. Does it say anything about a mid-range tone control, a mid-range EQ tone control? I don't understand why they make these things so complicated. They don't have to be complicated, but they just go out of their way to make it as complicated as they can.
I think I just found what we was looking for. P perimeter equalizer levels.
Exactly. That's what we want to be on.
Okay, the AMC release time says mid, then the PMR parametric equalizer frequency is off, then equalizer level 1, or equalizer 1 level.
Okay, let's take that equalizer 1 level. That's your bass control. Take that minus 5 clicks from where you are. Minus 5 clicks down from where you are. Roger?
Roger that. I dropped it down to it's at 0 now.
Oh, sounding much better. Okay, now go to your treble EQ, and boost that by 4 clicks. Boost that by 4 clicks, Roger.
All right, how's that?
Okay, two more from where you are right now, plus 2 additional from where you are.
That takes it to the max. That goes to 10.
Alrighty, and double check your mid-range to make sure it's off or flat.
Mid-range is at 0, yes.
Okay, so let's roll your bass 2 more clicks off, 2 more clicks down on your bass control, Roger.
All right, I went 2 down. I'm at 2. I'm actually at 2 right now.
Okay, and tell me the best thing you like about your radio, Roger.
Well, I thought it was very simple to operate until you start getting into all these menus, and then the menus will drive you crazy.
Yes, sir. Okay, 2 more clicks roll on your bass control, minus 2 more from where you are, Roger.
Roger that. It is at 0 now.
Oh, really? It's at 0? Was it a plus something before?
Yes, it was at plus 4.
Oh, okay, so minus 2 more clicks on your bass control.
I am now at minus 2 clicks on the bass control.
All right, minus 3 clicks more from where you are.
Now I am at minus 5 on the bass.
Okay, you sure your equalizer is on? Are you sure your equalizer is on?
Let me get back out to this other menu and check again.
Roger.
Mic equalizer is on.
Okay, so that number 1 equalizer that we've been working on, what frequency does that say it is? Is it like a 200 or 100?
Give me just a second. I've got to get back into that menu.
Roger.
Okay, what was it we were looking for there?
The frequency of the number 1 equalizer. The number 1 equalizer. Does it say a 200 or 100 or what?
It says it's off. What should it be set at?
It should be on, set on, and at 200. Set on and at 200, Roger.
Roger that. We're now turned on to 200.
Okay, now what is your attenuation? Are you down minus 2 or something on that 200 bass equalizer?
On the level 1, it's at 0.
Okay, take it to a minus 4.
All right, it is set at minus 4.
Okay, and add 4 more to that, minus 8. Minus 8 on your bass control, Roger.
All right, it is now at minus 8.
I think that sounds pretty good. Now, tell me about your antenna system again.
It's a Alpha Delta fan dipole. Covers 5 different bands and seems to work fairly well for me.
Roger, Roger. Now, your microphone tends to be microphonic a little bit. That is, it's the coupling of your diaphragm in the microphone is not isolated from the from the handle or whatever it is. I get a lot of noise when you key in or key out, you know. So be aware of that and try to be as delicate as you possibly can in your transmit mode, Roger, because you don't want that mic noise with your hands to go out, Roger.
Yes, QSL. Yeah, it's a Yaesu M90 desk mic.
Roger, Roger. So if you can just get your finger on the go button as opposed to your whole hand on it, it'll probably be quieter, Roger.
All right, I'll try that. I can hear the click as I press down on it.
Yes, sir. I think it's what it is. It's your whole hand is on around that thing, and like I say, the mic element is not isolated from the body of the microphone as well as what it should be. So if you just use your one or two fingers just on that button, you instead of wrapping your hand around it, it'll probably be a lot less noisy, Roger.
All right, I'll try that. Be as gentle as I can.
Yes, sir. Now, if you'll just stand on your head, sometimes getting from here to there is not as easy as one might think, Roger.
Roger that. I appreciate the help you're giving me. I've never had anybody to sit down and try to work with me to get this to sound the best before.
Yes, sir. Well, there's 1,000 different things that can go wrong, and probably about half of them will, you know. But as you begin to be cognizant of different things, then you will, you know, minimize those, and things will be a whole lot better. And if you get a chance, maybe if you wanted to get a windscreen, a foam windscreen, I suggest that just as a general rule. That will minimize any kind of mouth noises. That is a desk mic, Roger?
Yes, it's small. It's one of the lower end Yaesu desk mics. It's the M90.
Yes, sir. Well, it's doing quite well for a dynamic microphone. It's doing quite well for a dynamic microphone, but if you really wanted to get bright, I mean, as far as your sound, electret condenser microphones do tend to pick up a lot more of the top end than dynamic microphones. So it would be, a whole lot easier to get the crispness that we're looking for with that. You would probably be at about the halfway boost point on your treble EQ with an electret condenser microphone. But on the other hand, maybe your radio is not set up for electret condenser microphones. They do require a power on the audio lead to make them work, and that radio I'm not real sure. But I think we've maximized the capability as you are at the moment, Roger.
Roger that. Appreciate the help.
Yes, sir. So, and if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,300, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Roger that. Definitely I'll take a listen to it.
Okay, now one other thing. Maybe we can, let's see, if you would maybe pull off 2 more clicks on that bass side and see if we can use that. Since you're already fully extended on your treble side, maybe we can get rid of some bass, a little more bass, and get a better balance, Roger?
All right, let me get back to that screen. All right, 1, 2. How's that sound? Is there any difference in it, or is it all about the same?
I think it's a little bit better. But what's really happening is when you're at a plus 10 or plus 5 on your treble, you should be pretty sparkly, and that dynamic microphone just does not have that top end frequency response. So we're just doing the best we can there, Roger.
Roger that.
And I'm just wondering, are you sure your equalizer is on, Roger?
Give me just a second, I'll drop back down to that menu.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is. Mic equalizer is turned on.
All right, and did you say you could adjust the frequency of your treble equalizer?
I believe I could. Let me get back into that screen.
Yeah, let's just see if what we can do there, since it does have a somewhat limited top end, maybe we could drop I usually prefer 2700, but if it's really having a problem hitting that, we might have to drop that frequency just a little bit. Frequency is in use. Frequency is in use.
Okay, the TX frequency, what was those again that you wanted? I've got 100, 2900.
No, that's the transmit bandwidth. We want that at 100 to 2900. But your treble EQ on your equalization page, we want that to know if we can adjust the frequency of that. Roger?
QSL. The equalizer frequency is at 200 right now.
That's the bottom side. That's the bass side. We're looking for the treble side on equalizer 3.
Okay, what does it need to be set at? It's turned off also.
Turn it on and adjust it for, what frequency is it at the moment?
It was off.
Yes, but what frequency is it? Not the attenuation of that, but just what's the frequency does it say?
I do not see a frequency. It says the only thing frequency was off, and it's got a bandwidth and a level.
Yes, sir. Okay, turn it on. Turn it on, and adjust it for 4 clicks boost from where you are, plus 4 on your boost control on that equalizer.
All right, that took it to 1800 hertz.
Okay, now can you raise that to 2500? 2500, can you change that to 25?
It is now at 2500.
Okay, and can you take your push up to plus 10? Max that treble boost out at plus 10?
That's where we're at right now on the equalizer 3, or go back up to equalizer 1.
Equalizer 1 is on your bottom side. Equalizer 1 is your bass control. Equalizer 3 is your treble control, Roger. And you should be at 2.5 kilohertz on that, or 2.7 or whatever on your number 3 treble EQ control, Roger.
All right, that I set it at 4.
Oh boy, that sounded pretty good. Now, you got the plus 10 capability on that?
Yes, that is at 10 right there. Set at 10.
Ooh, that's nice. Okay, so bring it down to 8 plus 8 on that frequency, on that control, Roger.
All right, that is now set at level 8.
Okay, and tell me about the best thing you like about your radio.
Well, I can't say much about it right now. These frequencies or these different, they're driving me nuts, all these different screens I'm having to get into to adjust it. But other than that, I do like the radio. I like getting out and trying to talk to other people.
Oh, yes, sir. Okay, that's just beautiful there. You can keep that mic. You don't have to get a new mic. That sounds really nice. Roger?
Roger. Appreciate that.
Roger. Okay, Walt, let me say 73 to you, sir. You have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend. If you get a chance to join us next Friday, Roger?
QSL, I definitely will. Thank you very much.
Roger. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. My name is Jim, and if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Yeah, Wolf, can I move you down about 8
4, Oscar Romeo Sierra.
Okay, Oscar Romeo Sierra. Come back with the whole call sign slowly, phonetically.
Whiskey 4, Oscar Romeo Sierra.
Roger, Oscar Romeo Sierra. What's the name there?
Name is Chris. I'm in Alabama, over.
Is that CHRIS, Roger?
Roger.
And you say you're in Alabama?
Roger.
Can I get the call sign of the station you were just working?
You mean Walt?
Yes, please.
Let's see, KD9 VBK, I believe.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay, let's see here. My pen is not working very well. Hang on just a minute. Okay, Oscar Romeo Sierra, what is your name there?
Yeah, Jim, my name is Chris. Charlie Hotel Romeo India Sierra, over.
Roger, Chris. And what radio are you running, sir?
I am running a Hermes Light with the Theta software, over.
Okay, and do you normally run that radio barefoot, Roger?
I'm actually running it through a Meritron AL811 currently.
Okay, so you're putting about 5 or 10 watts into that?
Roger, about 5 watts.
Okay, Chris, why don't you give me about 10 seconds and let me see if I can get a better path for us, Roger?
Okay, sounds good.
Get a better path for us, Roger.
Okay, sounds good. I'll give you a little bit of check here, so we're testing so Jim can find a receiver that on the SDRs that he can actually hear me better. Let's see if I got enough chatter there, Jim.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, you do. Now, if you'd be interested in a setup procedure, it starts with you double checking to be sure that you're in that wide transmit bandwidth. I'm assuming that radio does have an adjustable transmit bandwidth, and we want that on 100 to 2900.
Okay, Roger. I will make that adjustment right now on the fly. So I'm changing that right now, the low to 100, and I'm going to change the upper. I'm changing that now down to 2700.
100 to 2900. Actually, it should be 100 to 2900. Roger, I'm sorry.
change the settings now, 100 to 2900, over.
Yes, sir. Sounds really pretty good there. Let's review a couple of things. Does it have a compressor processor?
Yes, sir. The compressor is at 2 dB.
Okay. Does it have an input level select, like 0 to 10 or 0 to 100?
We go 0 to 20 dB, over.
All right, so if it was 0 to 30, it would be 10. So I guess about an 8 on your compressor processor, Roger?
Okay, I've now brought it up to an 8 from a 2, over.
Let me hear that one more time.
Okay, testing, I brought it up from a 2. I'm now at an 8 on the compressor, over.
Okay, I can hear it trying to suck up. Why don't you do me this? Why don't you just key up and don't say anything for about 3 seconds. Key up for about 3 and don't say anything, Roger? Okay, so let's do about half of that, a 4. Let's do a 4, Roger.
All right, Jim, there's a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on a 4.
Okay, I think that's going to be better for us. All right, so does it have an ALC meter?
Roger, I do have an ALC meter, yes, sir.
Okay, so with mic gain in hand, and as you say the magic word audio, don't stress it, just say it as you would say any other word in a QSO. Adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running 7 or 2/3, Roger.
Roger, audio, 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 low audio, audio. Okay, there's about 7 right there.
Oh man, that guy must be like 1 click off my frequency. I don't understand why they would do such a thing outside of just not caring. Anyway, let me hear you tell me about what you like about your radio.
Okay, Jim, yeah. What I like about the radio, it seems to be pretty easy to use. It's a SDR, and I really like to be able to see the waterfall and to be able to see the transmit audio and the receive audio, and be able to see the band scope. So really enjoying it, over.
Okay, what is your mic level right now?
Mic level, I've actually brought it down to a negative 28 dB, over.
Your volume, your mic volume control? Does it have a 0 to 10 or 0 to 100?
The mic volume in Windows is at a plus 12 dB, over. Okay,
want to crank that up just a little bit. You know, maybe, let's see, what were we in the beginning?
It started out with on the mic level. The mic level goes negative 40 on the low end to plus 10 on the top end. We started out right here where I was at negative 2, over.
I think, you know, probably that would be a pretty good setting since you're, probably running about 50 watts. Is that a Roger?
Hello. Yeah, about averaging about 50, maybe peaking about 100. Yes, sir.
Really sound good there. Really sound good there. So I would just leave it right there for the moment. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording, and be cut number 1 in a series of 3300, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. Roger.
Roger. Do I need to make any changes on my EQ, or do you think my EQ is okay?
EQ is just beautiful, nice and bright, and you're going to cut with that, Roger?
Okay, very good. Yeah, very good. I appreciate the help, Jim, and I'll go ahead and sign with you and let some others come in here, but I appreciate you spending some time with me on adjusting the audio.
Hey, Roger that, Chris, and 73 to you, sir, and we got to get out of here ourselves. So, if anybody is listening that participated and wanted to hear their audio, if they go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3,300, and we'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. And with that being said, we got to get out of here and return this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV, clear.